What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have an Ultra Beast team number 2. So since Ultra Sun and Moon brought some new Ultra Beasts to the table, I thought I'd cover a team with them in. Now, if you haven't seen my original Ultra Beast team, I'll leave that one in the description of the video. People, leave those same teams in the comment section. Any feedback on the video would be wonderful too. And let's get into this one. So obviously I had to use 4 Pokemon, which made it a challenge in itself. And I come up with some really interesting sets too. If you guys would like to use this team, I'll leave the QR link in the description of the video, and I'll probably pin it up the top as well. So has anyone actually been using my teams and trying them out just for fun or a challenge? Let me know in the comment section. Alright, so we had, basically this one I had to run Uber's battle because of the Nadal. I hope I said that one. I'm just going to call it Nadal because he's one of my favourite tennis players. Anyway, so we have a Deoxys attack lead. Oh my goodness, the power up punched us over about half my health, obviously due to the 4 times weakness. Anyway, so setting up the trick room with my stack attacker here. Now, this was a terrible stack attacker that I got. It's actually boosting special attack, so I thought I'd make use of its terrible, it's terrible special attack set, and it's it's equally bad, terrible move pool. So this one had Trick Room to obviously make sure it goes first. Now, it got Flash Cannon as stab, which was the best stab. Guys, it got Round, so I gave it Normalium Z Round, and also got Hidden Power Ice on this. That was its moveset. It was absolutely terrible. It just didn't do anything. Now, instead of, oh my goodness, look at it. Instead of running Normalium Z, you could run Weakness Policy on it to bolster its absolutely tiny special attack. Look how much that crit did. That was a Deoxys attack, and it only did half under Protect. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so firing a laser out of my balls and taking out the Deoxys. Does it even have any balls? Anyway, so Deoxys is down. So a good start. That would have been a big problem. So getting a Beast Boost too, since its defense is still the highest stat. Now we have Dragonite coming out. I love versing my favorite Pokemon. So the best I could do was Hidden Power Ice against this. And with such a low special attack, there really wasn't much I could actually do. So anyway, Dragonite is now going to go for Earthquake. Obviously, that's going to be enough to take out my stack attacker, since I already took half damage from the Deoxys before. So that's down. But at least it got rid of the Deoxys. That was pretty funny. I think I actually managed to get a couple of KOs with that Z Round, but apart from that, it didn't do any damage at all. So swapping a Poipole here. Now, I've actually got another Poipole, which I've been using that's very similar to this one. I may even do something on Friday. Little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway, so Dragonite is going to go for Earthquake against this. Now, this is a bulky Poipole. I've got Max Health, split defenses with Everlight. This had a bolstering special defense nature. Now, I gave this one Toxic. I gave it Venom Drench. So what Venom Drench does is when the opponent is poisoned, right, it's going to drop their attack and special attack and speed by 1 stage. So it's a really interesting move, but very, very gimmicky. Obviously, the opponent has to be poisoned, and also put slapped on the classic Rest Sleep Talk. So it was a complete Stallfest set. I kind of needed it on this team though because I didn't really have like super bulky Pokemon. The stack attacker really wasn't bulky. It was more of a sweeping. It had that had max health, max special attack. If I didn't already mention that. So anyway, I'm going to get hit by yet another Earthquake on the Dragonite, and I lived on 8 health. I'm able to get off a rest, and that's going to be enough to get all my health back. Now the Dragonite is going to take more damage from the Toxic. So basically, I was stalling this thing out. That's really the best I could do. Now, I know there was the risk that I had Dragon Dance too. But since it already took like a lot of damage from Toxic already, I was kind of happy just like leaving it in here and not swapping out. The problem was with this team too, it was very hard to swap things out when this was most definitely the most bulkiest Pokemon on the team. Anyway, so Dragonite's going to go for a final Dragon Dance. I'm going to go for the Sleep Talk here, hoping I get Venom Drench so I don't get hit really hard by the Earthquake. I'm guessing at this point it's going to do about 3/4 plus. Thank goodness I get the Venom Drench, and that's going to hit Dragonite again. So basically, the Dragonite lost all its boosts it just got. So that was really good. I was able to stall out the Dragonite. Now, I am actually trying to get a Poipole sweep. As I said, I've got another Poipole. It sets very, very similar to this one. It's probably a little bit more suited to like 1v1 battles, but I won't say any more on that one. And of course, I'm still going for that major Ultra Necrozma Confusion sweep. So hopefully one of them can happen this week or next week. So I go for a Sleep Talk again. Like in this battle, right, with Poipole, I actually got I didn't get rest a lot of the time, which was amazing. So going for that Disrespect Venom Drench on the Dragonite. It's going to go down to the Toxic this turn, which is cool. So the whole thing about this battle, same as the other one, the Necrozma Forms team. I only had a few Pokemon to work with, right? So I was already at a huge disadvantage from the start, and I already hamstrung myself with like really difficult sets. Oh my goodness, this was so funny, right? So we have the Boom Burst X-Plow. So that's fine, that's going to take my Poipole out. Now, I have actually got a Pokemon with Throat Chop. Now, if you don't know what Throat Chop is, it's a Dark-type move that actually stops sound-based attacks from being used. This is a physical Naganadel, and man, this was funny. So going for the Throat Chop on there, and it actually can't use it. It was so funny. It's like, oh, I've never actually got to be able to use that in a Wi-Fi battle, like ever. Like, it's never ever. It's such a gimmicky situation to use. Anyway, so swapping out Blastoise, X-Blast's going to be Choice Specs or something, and it's going to go for a struggle. Oh dear, that's amazing. So I took out the Nadal because I thought that I could use that a little bit later on. That was sort of the best Pokemon on my team. I'll let you know on the set a little bit later on. So this Blastoise was actually a bulky special defensive wall. Yes, I know, bulky. So I've got max health, max special defense. I've got Will-O-Wisp on this. It actually gets access to Pain Split as well. I gave it Calm Mind, and I gave it Shadow Ball for some coverage. It actually worked fairly well. Obviously, the Beast Boost is still going to give me a special attacking boost too. All right, so Gyarados is going to come in, which is a massive threat to me. I really need to get a Will-O-Wisp off against this thing, like ASAP. If I had to get it off, I was going to get one shot. Even with the Will-O-Wisp up, it's going to do a lot of damage to me. So thankfully, that lands against the Gyarados. Now, if this thing if this had like Dragon Dance 2, I'd be in like a huge pile of trouble. It's going to hit me with a waterfall. I just live on 20 health. Woo! So now I can go for the Pain Split and get a lot of damage to the Gyarados. I mean, I could go for a Shadow Ball, right? But I feel this would be a much better plan. It's going to probably do a lot more damage too, since I'm on such a low amount of health. So going for Pain Split, I get well over half my health, do about half health to the Gyarados after that bird. It's going to go for another waterfall and take me out, but that's fine. That was a very good result. I really couldn't have done much else there. I tried to make that into a sweeper instead of a bulky... more of a bulky sweeper instead of just like a really frail sweeper. Anyway, so swapping in a Naganadel. I can't say this name. As I said, I'm going to call it Nadal. So anyway, we have the Malamar coming in now. This moveset was amazing on my... this actually had a physical moveset. So I had Dragon Claw, I had Gunk Shot, I had Throat Chop, and I had Fell Stinger. Now, Fell Stinger was to boost my attack. Going for the Fell Stinger on the Malamar here, and it was actually enough to take it out. Oh dear. And with the Fell Stinger, if you guys don't know, if you KO a Pokemon with that, you actually get a boost in attack by +3. So that actually makes it up for its real garbage, its garbage attacks. This thing has amazing special attack, but its physical attack is absolute rubbish. And that's exactly why I wanted to use it. So Gyarados is going to come in, Intimidate, and so that's putting me at a +2. Now they're going to swap it out. Obviously just trying to drop my attack, and X-Cloud is going to come in. It got about half health. Now I decided to go for the Gunk Shot this time, and that's going to still be hitting fairly hard, and that's going to be enough to take out the X-Cloud. I was so happy to be able to get that Throw Chop to work on X-Cloud. It's such a situational move. I actually really like it. It's a really interesting move. Anyway, so Gyarados is obviously going to come back in here, get another Intimidate on my attack. The problem is for the Gyarados, they're starting to run out of Pokemon to swap in and swap out to. However, I've only got one Pokemon left, so I've got to take this out. So going for the Throat Chop on the Gyarados, that looks amazing, because I want to try and get another Fell Stinger. It's going to go for an Ice Fang, still does a lot of damage to me. Oh, thank goodness I did not get Freeze Axe there. I was so worried about that. Now, Gyarados is in range, is going to have to take a Fell Stinger or swap out into the other Pokemon, which probably doesn't really want to. Fell Stinger is enough to take out the Gyarados, but not very effective, and I get another boost, drastic boost in attack, which gives me another +3 on top of that. So Gyarados dropped my attack by 2 stages, so at the moment I'm at a +4. The last Pokemon is Chansey, so that's why obviously they didn't swap out. Chansey as rubbish defenses, and with powerful moves like Gunk Shot, even Dragon Claw, that was going to do like a lot of damage to it. So now Chansey is going to go for a Seismic Toss. However, that's not going to be enough to take out me. I've still got a little bit of health left, and it's going to do that fixed 50 damage. Chansey is going to go for Protect. There's no point going for Protect because there's no way that I'm not going to be able to take this out the next turn. Dragon Claw cannot miss. It definitely has Everlight. It doesn't have like scummy Bright Powder or anything like that. It's going to go for another Protect. I'm like, dude, like it's over. Physical sweep. I really want to try and go for a sweep with this as well. I've got a good strategy in mind too, but the key to this one is to get that Fell Stinger up and start snowballing there. The Beast Boost, boosts your speed, so you really can't be outspent apart from like priority moves. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Let's get on to the second one. That was a really fun battle. Now this team obviously is very, very difficult to use. I had a lot of battles and most of them were utter failures. That's just how it was. Anyway, so leading with Stack Attacker again. Also, with these sprites on my side, I don't have moving sprites at the moment. I don't think they've actually been released or anything like that. So as soon as I get them, I'll update the non-moving ones if you are wondering. So we have a Weavile lead. It's going to use Fake Out, and it's not going to do anything to me at all. Obviously, I'm going to resist that. Now it's going to go for a Fling, and it flinked its Razor Fang, so it's one of those scummy flinching, like double flinch ones. I actually ran one of these a long while ago. It had those two moves, and then I went for the Icicle Crash afterwards, and I got 3 flinches in a row. It was madness. Anyway, so it's going to hit me with the Brick Break. That does a lot of damage with that 4 times. Setting up the Trick Room here, so even though I've got the Trick Room up and I've got a super effective move like Flash Cannon, it's dodgy special attack. I was like, well, it may not even take it out. All right, so firing another laser out of my balls, and that's not enough to take out that Weavile. And it's going to finish him off with a Brick Break, but it did pretty well. I've got the Trick Room up, so Weavile is, it's not very good in Trick Room because it's a fast Pokemon. It, however, does have access to Ice Shard, so that's about the only thing that I was thinking it could do. So swapping in Blastphelon, again, I wanted to get the Will-O-Wisp or just go for Shadow Ball to take this, pain in the butt out. So going for Shadow Ball, they stayed in, obviously thought, well, they probably don't want to swap anything into this, probably expecting like a Mind Blown or something like that. So that's down to not a bad start. I would have loved to get that first KO against the Weavile and then had my, a fair chunk of damage left on my health, but that's how it was. So now we have the Pinsir coming in. Now I went for the Will-O-Wisp this time. We're going to have a Mega Pinsir, so I've got to take this out. This thing's got Mega Attack as well, like a huge attack. So, and I'm not that bulky in defense either. Even when I get a Will-O-Wisp up right against like really powerful Pokemon in attack, man, I still get hit like a truck. I mean, it's not a bulky Pokemon, right? That's exactly why I wanted to run it this way. So Pinsir's going to go for knockoff. I'm like, crap, that's going to be definitely hard because my Poipolo has Everlight as well, so I've got to take this thing out. I've got no choice. So anyway, I went for the Shadow Ball here. Since I got a Beast Boost early on that, I thought that'd be better to go for than Pain Spit. Does a lot of damage, but since I wasn't running anything in special attack, it wasn't actually a KO there. And Pinsir's going to take me out with the knockoff. So that's how it is. It got very close to actually taking it out. Now, it was quite tempting to swap in Nadal here and go for the Fell Stinger, but I imagine with all the resistances and its terrible attack, it would not be enough to take it out. So I didn't want to take that risk. So now swapping in Poipole, I can go for a Rest here. There's actually not much I can do. Like I could go for a Venom Drench or a Toxic or a Rest or a Sleep. There's nothing I can do to this thing. It is just a full Taunt Bait Pokemon. However, that's how I kind of want it to be, like a challenge. So now it's going to go for the Quick Attack, which is Stab. It's really not doing much. I just went for Toxic and Venom Drench, and as I said, there's nothing I can do. So now in the next Pokemon, I can come in and use Toxic and Venom Drench against, or maybe just heal off. And in comes Gengar. I'm like, oh dear, there's nothing I can do against this. Like, I can't swap out either. Like, I cannot swap into my Ultra Beast Nadal because I'm going to take damage from it. It's just a really bad situation. So I went to Sleep here just seeing what other moves it had, or maybe I could cause a swap or something like that. Hopefully, I was kind of just hoping that, praying for that I'd swap. But they're going to keep staying in it and using Shadow Ball. Now, if I didn't say my EVs for Blazion already, that was Max Health, Max Special Defense, and the last 4 in Defense. And that was a boosting special defense nature as well. I can't remember what the other. It was just a terrible nature one, really, and I thought that was the best thing to turn it into, that kind of set. So anyway, Gengar's going to go for another Shadow Ball. It's about a 3-hit KO against me. So I'm going to keep just going to sleep. As I said, there's nothing I can really do, and unfortunately they didn't. They called my bluff and they didn't swap out the Gengar. So that's my Poipole down, completely and utterly countered. There was nothing I could do. So my only last ray of sunshine here was to go for the Throat Chop against Gengar to at least try and keep me in the game. That was my thought process. And even then I was like, I wonder if this is actually going to take Gengar out because I know Gengar's quite squishy in defenses, but then again, my attack isn't really good and it's not stab. So going for the Throat Chop, hoping this is enough to take it out. I was like, yes! And then I had a Focus Sash. I'm like, wait, this is going to be good, right? Because I've actually got Assault Vest as the item on my Pokemon. I'm running max speed, max attack. And I tank that. I tank it well, but they get a special defense drop. However, I have not revealed Fell Stinger. I went for the Fell Stinger, and that's going to be enough to take out the Gengar. So I got another Fell Stinger. I was like, oh, I didn't expect that because I was like, oh, the best I can probably do is get rid of the Gengar. And, that's going to probably be gain because I'm not going to do enough damage output. And I get a Cursed Body on Fell Stinger, but that's all good. I got one boost. I was really, really happy with that. So I've got my Fell Stinger boost, and I got my Beast boost. So I'm back in the game. I was really looking dire straits. So now we have Volcarona coming in. The best I can really do is the Gunk Shot here. I'm scared of Flame Body. I can't go for the Dragon Claw or anything like that. I've got to risk the Gunk Shot. Thank goodness it lands, and that's Volcarona down, and that's really good because that would have probably had something, maybe something to take me out. I'm not really sure. Even some extra damage. I'm not really sure. I would have not liked to get hit by that. Maybe a Z move was coming away. I don't know. So now we have Chiron coming out. I've got a lot of beast boosts up already. Even if this thing's scarfed, I'm quite confident that I'm going to be able to outspeed it. Going for the Dragon Claw, that's my best move against the thing. I was hoping it's not like super duper bulky, and that is enough to take it out, which is good. So there's only one more Pokemon left. I'm getting all the speed boosts in the world now. I still can't believe that the throat chop, and I was like, oh, I was actually worried about it not taking it out and that kind of thing. So the last Pokemon is Zerk3. Oh, it looks really cool, shiny. The best thing I can do here is go for the Dragon Claw, which is not going to miss. And if the only way of this actually living was a Focus Sash and it didn't have it, that was already on the Gengar. And that's game. I hope you guys enjoyed both of these battles, enjoyed the bloopers and bonus battle, and the artwork at the end.
Can't miss now, can it? I'm waiting for a water gun.
I think I need... No!